Born and raised in India. Whereabouts?
Born and raised in in Rewa, South Auckland.
Are you the oldest in your family?
The oldest out of 8 siblings.
When did you move over here?
I moved here 2013. It wasn't even planned. The idea was my wife's dad. So her brother lived here years ago, and we were just coming for a holiday. And he reckons, why don't you guys move there and just try it out? Like, you know, we can always move back if it doesn't work out. All of a sudden, I loved Brisbane.
That time you came, was that your first time coming to
Yeah,
here, or
just like everyone else, it's always different.
did you adapt to everything quite quick here? Or did it take a
Nah.
little while?
Not for me, for my missus, yeah, it was alright. It was only me, my missus, and my one daughter at the time. But when I came here, I was just homesick, eh? Yeah, so you know how it is with a big family, you're always together. Then you move away, it feels different, eh?
Looking at it from now, do you think it's been good?
Oh, so I wouldn't change anything, yeah. I feel like a lot of it's just what you do, the moves you do in the past, eh, brings you to what you are now.
When you came over here, did you work straight away, or were you just
Yeah.
trying to settle first?
I think 2 weeks after we got here, I found a job, and then 5 months after that, we landed this house, and then just been here ever since. Yeah,
What was
Yeah,
that?
so-
What was your first job?
I was making sheds like this
How long did you do that for?
about 2 years.
And from there to
From there to making frames, because I was sort of in the carpentry. I wanted to be like, that was my thing. But like mechanics in the back was always my passion. But I was just trying to find, because I didn't know where to start with mechanics over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So you did mechanics back at home? Like
No.
You had experience?
no,
Oh, true.
no experience was,
Oh.
yeah,
And then how long did you stay in the framing for?
oh,
A
probably,
while as well?
probably like not even 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just couldn't handle the heat. I went to Polar Fresh in the fridge.
Oh,
Yeah,
happy there.
yeah,
And
because
at
it's
the time,
aircon, everything, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And so how long did you stick it out over there at Polo?
Oh, I can't even remember. I don't know, a few years.
After Polo, is that when you left and started this, or?
So from Polar Fresh, then when COVID hit, the hours were just getting ridiculous. Like we would just start getting 2 days a week, yeah, down to even 1 day a week sometimes. And in my head, I was like, even though we weren't making enough for like, you know, the daily needs and that, I was like, man, I got a lot of spare time now. I'm gonna start looking at what I always wanted to do was do YouTube videos on how to fix cars or just do anything to do with cars. Yeah, so that's where it first sparked COVID. Yeah, but before that, so like the first time I ever touched a car was back in like 2010.
Oh,
That's
yeah?
when my passion grew for cars.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so when you say like that's when you had your interest, like what actually was it? Was it just the fact that you were looking into the car, or was it just what you were watching
Nah.
online, or
So-
what was it?
So it was. So if you go back to 2010, YouTube wasn't a big thing. But back then, I always loved cars because one of my older cousins had a Subi. First time I'd been into a turbo car, I just liked the feeling of going fast. So 2010 came, I finished school 2009. So 10 came, and then I told my dad I want to buy a Subi. He took me to the car dealer, and then we saw this 1996 Subaru Legacy RS model, going for about 3,750 was the exact price. So I told my dad, that's the car I want. And you know, our old man there was like, Leo, get a Toyota. Like, you know, Toyotas are the cars that are gonna last and reliable and everything. So anyways, I didn't listen, I got the car. And then I was just happy, eh? I don't know, but driving the car was a twin turbo, I think it was an EJ20 or something. But yeah, I drove the car, didn't know anything about cars at that stage. 3 3 weeks later, the car broke down.
Oh, gee.
Yeah.
Like on the road or where?
On the motorway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, on the Mangere motorway. I was going to see my missus. And it broke down and I was like, oh man, I should have listened to my dad. Like, he said not to get this car. No, not even long and the car's broken. So what happened was when I was driving, all of a sudden this noise came. It was like a chain dragging on the road. Like you're dragging a chain on the road. Yeah, and I got scared. I turned over to the side. And anyways, I got the car home. And I went to my dad and I was like 19, I think I was 18, yeah. And I told my dad, Dad, the car's broken, eh? So I told my dad, the car's broken, I should have listened to you, eh? And I was crying. I was like, man, I should have listened. He goes, T, I told you not to buy the Subi, buy the Toyota. Toyota's good, you know? And anyways, he goes, okay, take it to my mate. He's a mechanic. He's down the road. So I took the car to his mate, Samoan guy. I won't say his name. He's in Rewa. He's got a lot of stories now, eh? But he jumped in the car and he goes, oh, what's wrong? He's got broken English, eh? The Samoan guy. He's a big Samoan guy. Oh, what's wrong with the car? And I go, oh, I don't know. It's a noise when I'm driving. He goes, oh, okay. Give me the key. I'll give him the key. Turned the car on. He moved the car like 5 meters forward, 5 meters back, jumped down, he goes, 800. Okay, what's wrong with the car? And he goes, oh, it's your clutch is broken. And I was like, so I went home, and like 2010, an 18-year-old boy sold it 800. It was a lot of money, man. Yeah. So then I thought, I can't afford anything. I'm just gonna go and grab the scissor jack the car up, and I go and lie down in the car, touching. Bro, then my hand hit something that made the noise under the car, and I was like playing with it, and I was like, bro, that's the noise. And I grab it and I tighten it. I drop the car down. I drive it brand new again. I fixed the car. Eh? The noise was gone, completely gone. So. And I was like, and then I think to about my dad's friend, the mechanic, and I go, what a liar, this guy, man. It's not the clutch or something else. So like, that's where I knew, that's where it started from, where I didn't trust any other mechanic. Yeah. And from there, that's when the passion, and I was just so keen to learn how to do cars. That's where it started from.
Did you tell your dad? Like, did you tell your dad you fixed it?
Yeah, so I went back and I told my dad, I go, Dad, I think I fixed the car. And he goes, don't touch the car. Like, don't touch the car. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know if it's fixed or anything. And I was like, Dad, I fixed the car. Like, I tightened the thing, it was loose. And he goes, take it back to my friend so he can fix it properly. I go, sorry, I'm not taking it to your friend. Not taking it to your friend, bro. So since I did that, I thought, okay, sickie, I'm gonna try and start buying tools and that, but I didn't have enough. I wasn't working actually I was working, but I was only working 2 days at New World. Yeah, so 2 days at New World, back then I was getting $180 for 2 days. Saturday, Sunday, and that's the weekend. So yeah, and probably, I don't know, most of it goes to my parents, and I'll probably have only $50 left over, whatever.
So after that, when you were driving it around, all good, like,
So
that was whatever it was.
when I was driving the car around after I tightened it, I thought I was the man. I was just like, yeah, I'm the man, I fixed my car. My next one on that first car was, my brakes started grinding. My brakes was grinding. Every time I pushed the, brakes are... Then I told my kingy, and I was like, Siki, I'm gonna go fix it. She's like, are you sure you don't know how to... I said, nah, I can figure it out. When I bought some tools, came home, Siki, I changed the brakes. Then I just put the car down, and I told my kingy, I'm gonna go for a test drive now. This is probably the year after, 2011. So I'm on the main road, right? I turned down to the main road, drive straight down. There's the lights there. Then the lights went orange and red. I pushed the brake and I went straight through the lights.
Oh,
My brake's not working. Totally. I was like, what the hell is wrong with it? My brake's not working here. And then I drive around, I have to use the handbrake. So I drive back, I check the car, man, what's wrong with the brakes? I don't know where I did wrong. Yeah, do it again. Oh yeah, a little bit better, drive back. And then I do it again. Then I figure out, I read on Google, oh, you need to bleed the brakes because the brake piston came out. So I bleed the brakes and then I got the brakes right, eh? After that, I was like, Seki, I know how to change brakes now, eh?
everything you learned, you knew, you remembered. And you were just like adding to what you knew from
Yeah.
Because it's like what you said, YouTube wasn't around.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
there's access to everyone.
Yeah.
Everything pretty much.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
Trial and error.
That's the word also, trial and error, man. I've had a lot of those. There's so many times that I broke my car, like even more trying to fix something. And then I'm like, oh, so that's not working, it's because I did, now I know what this is for. That was the way of learning type of thing, yeah. So it was like, I had those two problems, and then I had the biggest test of all time, which was the clutch.
That's a big one, like
that's
one for vehicles.
It's basically you got the engine and the gearbox, so you got to separate those two, and it's in the middle. That's the clutch. That's how big the clutch job is.
Get to it.
Yeah, just to get to the clutch, you have to move the engine, move the gearbox. The clutch is there. At that time, I was like, bro, I'm nowhere near ready for that, eh? So I take it back to the mechanic. I took it back to the mechanic that my dad's made. Yeah, because I was like, nah, I can't do that. So like, I take it back on Saturday, and he goes, oh yeah, Seki, I'll have it ready for you on Monday. And then come Monday, I drive past the house and I'm looking, my car hasn't even moved. And I'm like, that's when my brain starts going again there, and I was like, you know what? I gotta go change my clutch. I went back to him like, hey, give me the key now, they're wasting my time, I need my car for Monday. And he goes, oh, who's gonna do it? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And he goes, you give me that laugh, eh, that. It's not a easy job, eh? He gave me that look, eh? And I was like, take it in. But to me, I'm like, I just take it as, I'm gonna show you, you're gonna change my clutch.
Motivation, eh?
Motivation also. Yeah.
That.
Took the car all the way back to Mangere where I moved in with my king, with her parents. And then sort of started on Monday. So I had work 5 to 1, finish at 1. And then I'll come do the car 2 to 10 at night, 8 hours. And it took me 5 days, 5 8-hour shifts, you know. And then come Saturday, that was the last time where I was finishing the last stuff. And the whole time I was doing it, Monday to Friday, my Kenya's dad would always like come out and be like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I just need to change my clutch. He's like, oh yeah. At the time, he's like, so like, this guy don't know what I'm doing. Like even me, I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just gonna try and change it, eh? Come to that Saturday, I chopped the car down. I did a little prayer before I turned the car on. And then I turned the car on, and I was like, man, put the car in first gear. Then I released the clutch, and then the car starts moving, eh? And I'm like, the happiest person, eh?
When did the name come around?
Like, the way I do things is like, I always do it my way. There's no other name that suits it than Theusoway. Yeah.
That fits really well with your very first experience.
Yeah, 100%.
You took your clutch to get fixed, you took a while, took long, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna do it my way.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is, right?
Yeah.
You literally did it back then, but you just didn't know the name was
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah.
So you're already living it.
Yeah.
You actually
Yeah, see? Thank you, bro. Putting the pieces of the together. Big shout out to all my clients. Because honestly, if it wasn't for them, also it wouldn't be what it is today. So big ups to everyone who's come through. Yeah, and a big shout out to my wife as well, also, because they've been there from day one. So there's a lot of things that she pushed me to do, business-wise, that I wasn't really at the time. I'm just hands-on, eh? But yeah, big shout out to my wife too, and all the 5 kids. Yeah.